Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? NoZoupForYou here, and this is kind of a continuation of the video that I put out on, I think it was Monday, regarding a new game, a new year, and the game is so different now that players just don't even recognize it anymore, but they've been playing for like 5 or 6 years. I never gave a solution to how I get past, I guess, the doldrums of random battles and everything else. At this point, I'm sticking mostly to ranked gameplay, and that's it. I really can't take random gameplay anymore. It eats away at my soul. It kills me. Unless I'm playing with my squad and streaming on Thursdays. I really enjoy that. But that's mainly because we have a lot of fun when we do it. And, you know, interacting with you all and everything else. But for those of you that are struggling right now or just hate things, go to ranked gameplay because there's less ships and they do a lot of lower tiers like tier 5. I'm finding that a lot of fun too because you don't have many of the issues you have in high tier random gameplay. So that would be my advice. But this kind of begets a larger situation right now, and as the title of this video says, Wargaming just doesn't care about you. Or me, or us, or anyone in general. I mean, maybe the new players are sucking into the game because that's right now their financial pipeline, but if you're an older player, and I don't mean age-wise, I mean if you're a beta player or an alpha player, they don't care about you. They don't care about your concerns, they don't care about what you feel is a problem with the game, and we know this. We've seen this year after year after year, because the community will get up in arms about something and they'll just dismiss it and do what they want to do anyways, which in many ways one would think is counterintuitive, but since this is a pay-to-play game, it doesn't matter because if you leave the game, they don't care. They'll just find ways to bring in new players that are going to spend money, and when they get sick of the game, more players are going to come in to replace them. It's not something like Call of Duty or a first-person shooter where if you're having issues with the game or you don't like the game, most of the players don't like the game. They have to fix it because players are going to leave and there's nothing to replace it. So different structure here with pay-to-win games or pay-to-play. It's not like other games, so they can afford to lose you or piss you off if you're an older player. They just don't care. And I think that's resonated with a lot of you because I've seen your feedback and what you've said. And I'm just going to go through some of it, just so you know what players think right now, or older players, if you don't know that you're the only one feeling the way you do. If you don't like the game right now or you don't like how it's gone, you're not alone. For instance, one individual said, I've been in the game nonstop since beta, and I have to agree. Every new stupid little thing they try and put in the game chips away at my want to play. It all started when they took the ability to fire and smoke away and the release on Steam. This is, but isn't the same game anymore. You're always spotted, RNG seems to be worse than it ever was. Everyone has radar or hydro, planes are near impossible to beat at the same tier or higher, maps are getting stale and boring, and people only play for themselves and stat padding, if you can even call it that. They've monetized every little aspect about the game now, made camo useless, super containers are useless, as are most containers, etc. They've killed the game for me for the most part, and every day that goes by I log in less and less and miss playing it less and less. Not to mention matches nowadays are completely one-sided, and you have a 50-50 chance of a flat-out rout. No one plays the caps, everyone plays off of them. The lust just goes on and on. I think you meant list there. And that's an admin off of World of Warships Admiral's Locker on Facebook who's saying that. He is not happy with the game, and other people jumped in too. Another individual said, I started an alpha and was a super tester for several years. I left the game 2 years ago because I saw this coming, and I was unwilling to invest more of my time in a game that clearly didn't care about the player base, especially the ones that helped get them started. I still follow what's happening because I did help with it in the beginning, but I've yet to see news that things are improving and draw me back. And the response was to that, things aren't, just gets more and more ridiculous, just like what they did with World of Tanks. Other individuals are talking about how one bad player can ruin the game on your team, and the list goes on. So if you're feeling down about the game right now, if you're not liking the way things are, if you feel like the game has left you behind, you are not alone. I mean, I've told you my stance on it. I feel the exact same way. I feel that this is a completely different game than what we started with 5, 6, 7 years ago, and many other players do as well. But again, those concerns don't matter, and they don't matter to Wargaming. And again, it's because once you have enough premiums, you're probably not going to buy anymore unless a ship comes along that you really, really, really feel like you need, something that just speaks to you. Maybe there's sentimental value to it. So Wargaming has already maximized the profit out of you, especially if you've been playing over 3 or 4 years. So they really don't care. To them, you have served your purpose, and if you move on, it's no loss to them. You spent your hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on the game. They profited off of you, and now it's time to move on and get new players in and start mining off of them, which is exactly what they're doing. And all the stuff in the game right now appeals to these new players, because they wouldn't be playing it if it didn't. So obviously, it sounds strange to say, but Wargaming is doing something right. And they're doing something right by not caring about you or me or us. And sadly, that's just the way it is. And that's the way their business model runs. So, in a way, you know, the capitalist in me kind of admires that. They have found a thing that works for them. But it's unfortunate because it's at the cost of probably their most diehard players that have been playing for a long time. Again, you, me, us. So, it sucks. It really does. And I know this isn't the only game that this happens in, but, you know, it kind of hurts more because this is our game. This is the game that we've been playing for so long. Almost, you know, on the better half of a decade at this point. That is a long investment in this game to pretty much just get to a point where Wargaming says, yeah, we don't care about you anymore. We don't care that you're not enjoying the game because we got your money and you're gone. Or we got your money and you're still going to play every now and then, and you might purchase something every now and then. We've maximized our profit off of you. If you don't like the game, suck it up or leave. And that's really what it comes down to. It's a cold, hard reality. So, just my thoughts on it and how I feel right now, and I know how many of you all feel. So, I guess at this point, the best way forward for all of us, if we have been playing a long time and don't like the way things are, we have two options, really. We either adapt and find ways to enjoy the game, or we just leave the game, or maybe play a lot less often. And I know many of you, and even myself, have opted for that route. And again, Wargaming is not going to care, because it's not hurting them. It's not hurting their bottom line. It's not hurting their profit margin. So, it's just the reality of it. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you've had a great week so far, and I'll catch you all later. Zoop out.